Evil Does Not Exist, the second movie that Joe and I saw together this week.
Crazy.
Directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi, who made Drive My Car in 2021, which won a bunch of awards. Got him an Oscar nomination for Best Director, which is very hard to do as an international filmmaker. He previously worked in documentary a lot. He made a 3-part documentary about survivors of the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami called Voices of the Waves. He also has previously in feature films worked with non-professional actors like Sean Baker, like others, which he does here. And I think all of that comes together. The documentary experience, the working with non-professional actors, all comes together in the amazing, sublime Evil Does Not Exist. This movie, with a cast of non-professional actors, follows a single father who lives in a village that is disrupted by a real estate project, glamping. This real estate company is gonna come in and do like a glamping thing in this village that really depends upon agriculture and nature for its and community for its existence. And then it follows the consequences of this development and its effects on the community. I was blown away by this movie. It is so smart. It is so patient. It is so controlled. And then when it hits fucking hard. It's also a very pleasant surprise. It is very funny. It's very fucking funny. I think we should for this. I want to avoid any kind of spoilers. I want to talk about like 2 things from the early part of the movie. I really want to avoid spoilers on this one though.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Because we don't have like contempt for the movie.
No. This movie's a beautiful gift that you should.
And also because you should go into it not knowing too much.
I agree.
Know a little, but don't know too much.
Know that it's good and you should go. For
exactly.
Sure. Know about that.
But I do want to talk about a couple things in the early part of the movie, kind of Act 1, early Act 2. First, the opening part of this movie is just like is just pure slow cinema. It is and the whole movie really is long takes, long shots. He really doesn't. I loved this movie because he will not cut unless he absolutely has to. He only cuts when he wants to like dramatically change the point of view or he's going to a different scene is the only time he cuts. I literally started like following in my head. He truly will not cut unless he forcibly has to. Otherwise, it is these incredible
but what if my dumb audience gets bored? That's
Nope,
Ty.
Nope, right.
Sorry,
He has faith in what he's doing, he has conviction in what he's doing. And so the first part of this movie, you are just watching this community, this sort of agricultural-based, nature-based community doing what they do on a daily basis. They are getting water from the stream. They are chopping wood. They are forgetting to pick their kid up from school because they were chopping wood. You were going
Smoking
through
a
all
cig.
of these, right? Smoke. I've never seen smoking a cigarette be so satisfying in a movie. Not like beyond like gauzy close-ups of Betty Davis. You have never seen such a satisfying smoking a cigarette scene in a movie as an Evil Does Not Exist, because it happens after this guy has you've just watched him chop wood for
in
3
real
minutes
time,
and then smoke a
cold.
cigarette
Yeah.
and you feel the fucking
And he's not an actor.
No,
Just
you
a guy.
feel the moment and the satisfaction. You feel it so clearly, and these beautiful compositions, these beautifully set up shots, and then. Sort of like 30 minutes into the movie, 30 minutes into the movie, you get the first like big sort of confrontational plot setting scene. And it is this incredible long scene of a town hall meeting where this real estate company is like presenting their plans for doing like a glamping installation in this town. And you can tell like at the beginning, this real estate company and their 2 representatives who then have the most incredible character arcs. Oh my God. Like what would be throwaway characters to anybody else become like the key characters in the whole thing, and their arcs are unbelievable. I won't say anything else about that. But this real estate company, they think they just show this video and they're like, these dumb hicks are going to love this because it's, money into the economy. And then the town hits them with the most incredible questions ever. They have like 3 detailed questions in a row about the septic tank, and this company is wildly unprepared to answer any real questions about what they're doing. And this town over the course of this town hall meeting, like deconstructs this project and shows them how they are going to like not in some sort of sentimental sense, like physically, really, in terms of like the ecosystem of the town, how this glamping installation is going to ruin the fucking, is going to tear down the foundations of this community. And
everything these tourists are coming to see is going to not be there anymore because of their terrible plans.
They nail them to the fucking wall,
Right.
and it's incredible. You will never want to go on a vacation again because of this movie, and good for it. It is so fucking smart, so fucking patient. And if I can, I would like to, we've already talked about it, but I want to talk about what I think is this golden age of slow cinema that we are going through that is epitomized by Evil Does Not Exist. And slow cinema, I want to be careful here because slow cinema has been around for a long time. It has so many masterpieces to its credit. And when we say slow cinema, we're talking about the cinema of minimalism, this sort of observational realism characterized by long takes, simple narratives, this sort of patient cinema. And the title slow cinema has always been, I think, intentionally misleading because although the pacing of the movie is slower than a popcorn movie, when slow cinema is done right, it is the most fucking compelling movies you've ever watched. Kelly Reichardt's Showing Up last year, Janet Planet, Evil Does Not Exist. I was more on the edge of my seat for those three movies than every fucking popcorn movie I've seen for the last 2 years. And I love popcorn movies. But just to point out that slow cinema is a sort of intentionally, I think, misleading term. It is slow in its pacing relative to what you're used to at the movies, but holy shit, when it's done well, it is nothing digs the knife deeper or is more of a gut punch than good slow cinema. And that's what I love about it, is that it rejects the tropes of mainstream cinema, not just to reject them. It's not like slow cinema is not like snotty kids being like fuck. It's not Dennis Hopper. Remember those stories of Dennis Hopper like telling George Cukor to go fuck himself because the kids are taking over? That is not what slow cinema is. Slow cinema is like adults at the top of their game. It's like masters of cinema showing you there are other ways of being compelling. They are trying to get to the same end as a fucking Marvel movie. They are trying to get you on the edge of your seat. They are trying to be compelling. They are trying to tell engaging stories. They just understand that you don't have to like the what's interesting about a movie doesn't have to be so pushed to the front. It doesn't have to be cut, action, chug your fucking popcorn, fucking swallow this whole, you fucking idiot. It can be patient, it can be developed, and it can still be just as engaging, if not more. And to shout out the classics, I mean, of course, Chantal Akerman's Jean Dielman, Antonioni's trilogy, Aki Kaurismäki and Jim Jarmusch I love in this medium because they sort of do slow cinema comedy, which is hard to do, which is like sort of to make slow cinema funny. So there are tons of like masterpieces, and we're talking about slow cinema.
In Japan, all the way back to Ozu.
Thank you. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And so, but keeping that in mind, I do think slow cinema is going through a golden age right now. Kelly Reichardt, of course, but I think Showing Up is one of Kelly Reichardt's best, which came out last year. Annie Baker's directorial debut, Janet Planet, which you're going to talk about in a second. And then Evil Does Not Exist. Easily three of the most compelling, powerful movies I've seen this decade. This generation of slow cinema auteurs are absolutely crushing because they have such conviction. They have such a clear sense of what they're doing, such control over their movies. I think they are putting the maximalist, I'll say it again, the maximalist faux tours like Yorgos and Ty West to shame. Slow cinema is where it's at right now, baby. Take a break. Smoke a cig. Relax.
Sit the fuck down.
Because the slow cinema
Relax.
is here to save us all. Don't hit that panic button.
Chill out.
The answer to saving cinema is not to just fucking blow your load and think that you just got to throw 100 tropes at the screen and hope something sticks. The adults are here to save us, and they're all working in the medium of slow cinema right now. I fucking love y'all.
Brett, I think the question going into next week's episode, where we're going to pick our top 10 favorite movies of the year so far.
Oh, best of 2024 next week.
The question is not, is Evil Does Not Exist going to make the list? It's
where
how
it's going
high.
to be. How high it's going to be.
It's how high. It really is a great movie. Brett said it all, but just to throw it out there, like nature just shot so powerfully and so beautifully. This guy is a master of color and light. a joy to watch, a great story. And that scene Brett talked about, that was that scene was so funny. One of the best written, most enjoyable to watch. It's like 20 minutes long. Like, it's such a long scene, and it's so funny and well done, in a very minimalist like room. You know, the shots are, every single shot is stunning, but you or me wouldn't be able to figure it out. He's just pointing the camera and stuff, and he has the eye of eyes. Hamaguchi, really gorgeous stuff.